Hi there, everyone, and welcome. It's Lavender Sky Panther with you on Monday, October 7th, 2024, for a second video today. This is the one that I mentioned in the previous video that will be a reading and also kind of another kind of blessing and prayer, however you want to call it, a connecting in, if you care to join me, in order to really envision the storm out in the Gulf of Mexico right now dissipating, reducing back to its native nothingness and balance and equilibrium, or however you like, or big shear winds are coming in and will continue to dissipate that thing so it doesn't pick up any more steam as it reaches landfall. The overall intention when we get there is going to be just putting it out there that we wish for the most harmonious and the highest best for the good of all with this scenario. And so that's not putting a judgment. I know I'm asking maybe to envision things as you wish, to not bring harm to life, human life, nature, everything on land. However, there's a huge, big picture I must concede, and I don't know the purpose of these storms coming along, if they are, for ill, or there's some bigger plan where they're doing good. But I will say that no, nobody wishes any harm in anyone, and so the overall intent is going to be whatever is for the highest and best good of all, and the most harmonious situation to be involved. And also, since my intent is that there is no harm to any life form, humans or nature, good-hearted, loving human beings, and also maybe ones who aren't so much. But the point is that no one should suffer. So my particular, when I go into it, and you're welcome to do it or do it however you like, is to envision that storm just weakens into nothing. If in that area any water is needed, although I don't think so because Helene came through there before and really saturated the ground. But if for any reason anything needs water, okay, just let it sprinkle, but no catastrophic damage, please. And so anyway, anybody right now along the coast, the west coast of Florida, or anywhere in Florida, if you can hear my voice now, let it also be something to kind of soothe you so that you're not anxious. There's a lot of people I talked about in my other prior to the storm Helene, that became the hurricane, called Calm the Storm. And so my intent is also that for anybody out there that might be suffering PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, if you've gone through some horrific hurricanes in the past and know, that can be really awful, I just want to let you know I'm with you in spirit. If there's a chance to get out of an area, if you seem to be in a zone that might be prone to flooding, do it. There's time. Go with your instincts on it. Listen to your own gut feeling. And if you think there's nowhere to go, don't, stand on pride and ceremony. If that's you, reach out to family, to friends, to anybody who might have a safe place for you to go to. And then if not that, they do have the different shelters, and there are evacuation shelters that do even take animals if that's a concern, for pets. But anyway, please get to somewhere where you are physically safe. And on top of that, what's going to come through this video, I hope you feel it right now, is a huge, beautiful wave of love coming from my heart space, connected in with the love that all there is, the source, God, Jesus, beautiful energies from the higher dimensions are coming your way now. Above all, may everybody have peace of mind if you have loved ones living in Florida, if you're somewhere else, and let us all connect together and just wish the very best and most harmonious for everyone involved, whether you know them personally or not, whether you have a loved one in Florida or not. So this is coming to you based in Miami, Florida. That's where I'm at. Of course, I have one eye out on this for myself and other concerns of people I know and love in the state, and I wish everybody well. Okay, now let's get into this. Oh, one little tip. If you ever are in Florida or move to Florida and are in a fortunate enough position to go buy a property or rent a property, this is an insider tip. It's very important. If you can, when you're considering where to move or where to live, check around and ask if the property, if the home there, the building there, happens to, what kind of power grid it happens to be on, and if it's reliable. Also, if it's on the same grid of some bigger or really important kind of other buildings are on, like nursing homes or like some kind of living assistant facility, any kind of like hospital, because those tend to be connected to a bigger power grid that has extra safeties involved, that it won't, go down as easy. Or if it does, they have priority to get their lines repaired. Because you got people on different machines, like life and death type situations, especially if it's kind of like elderly care or whatever. So just kind of make sure you're on a good grid. It can go a long way if you should ever get a direct hit from a hurricane, because the number one thing down here in Florida, of course, the concern is the heat, and it can get really hot without the air conditioning. Okay, but anyway, on a more positive note, may everybody weather this storm, quote unquote, really well if you're affected, and hopefully it doesn't touch anyone involved here. And even if you have a loved one in the area that might be affected, may their particular property, wherever they are, may it magically be untouched. And that's the kind of power we're going to tap into here when we get into our God-given gifts in our heart space. And you can also, depending on what point of view you're coming from, this is a more spiritually oriented channel. But if you are into serious, straight up prayer and connected in with your religion, that's fine too. Whatever floats your boat, so to speak. No negative pun intended, because we've got a lot of storms and floodwaters coming. That's why I've got the little Viking boat in the background with the incense burner. But you know what? This is just for all of us to come together in loving spirit with no labels on it. And we're just wishing and praying for the best for everybody. All right. I know I went on and on, but I'm just feeling it strong. I just want to send out so much love to everybody, especially those who might be feeling jittery or, anxious. May this little video here calm you, and know that you're not alone, that anybody coming together here with the good intentions and participating in this are right there with you, wishing you well. All right, now I did talk about that, like of us all coming together. I will try to do this reading where, if you're not so fond of doing the blessing and connecting and thing, don't worry about it. I will try to, look at each. There's going to be 4 cards, so you can go ahead and select a pile 2 if you just want to do it that way. I'll try to read this as a collective. I mean, I'm probably going to read all of the cards, as kind of one overall message too. But I'll also try to read them individually. No promises. We'll see what happens. Okay. So that being said, if you do want to go by pick a card or select a group, let me get my little famous Sassafras wand and show you what we've got. So for everyone, just to know, since this is kind of keeping the tropical storm, which is, I don't know if it's already technically the hurricane as we speak right now, heading into a hurricane perhaps, unless we can also really dissipate the heck out of that thing with our beautiful loving intentions for it to dissipate, fade to nothing. But whatever the case, the theme here is the 4 elements. Sure, there's also the 5th element. Some say that's ether, represented by the incense stick, with the little plume going there. And by the way, the incense stick is cedar wood, frankincense, and a little bit of sandalwood. And that just, I just got it today, so it's lucky. I think it sends out a good message, because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get that today. Also, let me digress a little. I'm going to go to the backdrop. We got a scentless candle burning in the background of this beautiful little Moroccan-style lantern. And then we have over here, which I'm going to include a YouTube video in the description area below sometime after the video uploads. And I want to just show you, this is called a ferro rod with a striker. And this, I think, is a 3-inch, that's a 3-inch strike rod, a ferro rod. Apparently, the longer it can be, the better it is to work with. But in a pinch, this would work to start a fire. The reason why I'm putting it there is, yes, we're kind of got a hurricane theme here. And so as far as a little tip, if you have a box of matches and wherever you're at gets flooded waters or whatever happens and they get wet, they're not going to do you much good. But this ferro rod, I'll pick it up, it's metal. So, that can fall in water, that can do anything, it's still going to be fine. And then you've got a little strike, to go with it. So the video that I'm going to show, there's tons of them on YouTube to show you different techniques. I just happen to glance and, pull one up that seems pretty user-friendly for any of us that aren't, out doing bushcraft in the woods every day. Just if you're, starting from scratch, literally you just kind of need to know what to do. And ideally, if you have one of those things like that ferro rod, it's good to kind of practice it should you be heading into, perhaps a kind of a disaster type situation. Truth be told, I have not even tried this out yet. So I would be doing that if it looks like I'm imminently in harm's way. But I think we're going to be okay here in Miami. Prayers up. All right, so anyhow, let's go back to the selection of the groups. So we have a representation of the 4 elements just because I'm feeling very nature intensive, thinking about the weather. I did not want to, however, just put a deck that was more water or wind, air kind of, symbology, because I want to say, no, we're starting off anchored. We're going to kind of balance out that stuff and dissipate, the stormy conditions. So we're going to ground in, earth in. So we're going to start off with an earth-related card, or at least to me, that's what it represents. And we have Crocodile Jasper, and this is the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. Although there's water and wind in here too, but it still feels overall very earthy and grounded and connected to me. So that's why we're going to go with that as the representation of earth. Then I want to go with fire. And so we have this inner fire that we're going to have going on when we connect in. And again, to try to tamp down, what do you call it? There's another word I'm missing right now. But kind of, calm down, calm the storm down. So we're going to start off anchored in earth, and we're going to bring our own inner fire to try to envision this storm sheared apart and dissipated. So, and slow it down. And so the emphasis, for me anyway, is on these first 2 cards. And then we're going to use the Dragon Path Oracle cards for representing fire with dragon fire energy. Then we're going to have water is depicted here. And I'm using the Wild Kuan Yin Oracle. And I'll cite all the authors and illustrators in the description area below on these decks and put the decks in there, list them. And actually, this even looks like a chunk of ice. So interpret that as you will. And then we have the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins deck to go along with water. And actually, I didn't say the stones. This is a little chunk of chrysocolla. This is Girasol or Girasol. This is red jasper, and then I did cover the crocodile jasper. The crocodile jasper is pretty interesting because when it's wet, you see this circle. There's kind of a pattern of those throughout, and it kind of looks like the hide or the skin of the tough side of the crocodile. Okay, that's why they call it that, I believe, I would think. And then I do have a shell back here too represented. So we have a combination of, and then of course we have the fire, in the candle, and then the incense for the ether. Okay, so just everything was feeling, again, the focus on earthiness, if that's a word, because I even have the background is showing forest floor. Now, while we're talking about this too, and I know it's going to be a longer intro than usual, I'll put timestamps down there if you want to just skip ahead. But I find it important. I want to reiterate for anybody affected, adversely impacted by Hurricane Helene, whether you're in Florida, Georgia, I heard even South Carolina got some bad stuff, North Carolina certainly, Tennessee, whoever did get harmed, especially we see the catastrophic level flooding. There's a lot surrounding that storm that all arrows point to, what I want to say, that it was a weaponized weather control, weather warfare, absolutely. The area close to up by in North Carolina, there was a lot of pre-flooding storm activity up there, which just set up, the worst case scenario. Again, I've seen proof, and I just know in my heart too, no question, that even the hurricane itself, the previous one, as it approached the shore, was not supposed to just radically, out of nowhere, ramp up and increase crazy, and yet it did, and there's plenty of evidence that it was manipulated. So that's my point of view, my opinion, and I'm sticking with it, because I have a knowing with a capital K about it. Do you agree with me? Hey, doesn't matter. You do, you don't. Have your own opinion, have your own views, do some digging, challenge me if you like, if you're not in agreement with it. If you're on board, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Along those lines, I'm going to throw out something further if you can have a beautiful open mind, and I hope you do if you found my channel. There are other sources that say, if you take this from a galactic standpoint of view, and I'll just put this out there for your musing here, that, forget about political parties and who you're for or against. That's all a sideshow anyway to distract you from what's really important on this planet. If you just zoom out, I don't care which political figure said it. I truly don't. But the point is that if somebody says, oh, we're going to have a space force, why would you need a space force if things weren't going on galactically? It's not just to blow satellites out of the air from one country or the other. Hint, hint, okay? So that opens up the door to make it on the, mainstream level that, yes, of course, there are galactics, there are craft that people can't explain, which would mean it's in the ET realm. Back in, what was it, 2014 even, or 2017 or 14, I can't remember now, somewhere around there. Even CNN, which again, I'm not for any of the mainstream stuff, due to the misinformation, the lies, and the deceptions that they do, and are all owned by kind of one evil leading entity, let's just say, if not straight up evil, or, giving partial truths, if any. Even that station showed military officers or military personnel who witnessed craft. Now, they showed the craft, but they blurred it out intentionally. Those cameras on those jets and things are way more sophisticated and can show you clear pictures. But anyway, fine. They gave us a sloppy version of this. But they said, even on the mainstream news, yes, these pilots saw an unidentifiable craft that moved in ways that aren't human. So what does that mean? Oh, that's ET exposure, disclosure way back then. But for whatever reason, people were in a sleepy state and nobody even talked about it. I went around asking people, did you realize they just are acknowledging UFOs? And nobody, like, huh? Like in somewhere else. I don't know. Anyhow, I know why that happened. I know why people are getting like dumbed down and numbed out. But whatever the case, that's already been public knowledge, and a lot of us around the entire planet are capturing images and photos of actual craft, cloaking craft, you name it. So I wouldn't even say that we need disclosure. Disclosure has already come and gone. We're in it. We're in the times where most people know it's possible. So hopefully you can go there too with me. If not, it's fine. But whatever the case, the reason why I'm bringing this up is if you open your mind enough to know, not just kind of entertain, but if it takes you a while to get there, to know that there is galactic life and there are ETs, then you should also probably be open-minded enough to entertain the idea of portals and interdimensional travel and things of that nature. Well, I'm bringing that up because with this hurricane coming, it is no accident, again, to me, it's weather warfare, weather control, weather manipulation, that this storm path is heading straight for Tampa area once again, to very seriously, the attempt to impact it yet again. Well, that's not easy to do just with a natural storm system, to gun for a specific area once again, so close together. It just doesn't work that way. If you've lived on this planet for many, many decades, like I have, we've already lived it, seen the patterns, and see what is, seems to be normal or not. Although I'd like to say that even in the course of my lifetime, all of these storms have been manipulated. But anyway, not to go off the path. For right now, I'm just bringing this up because looks like now the storm is consistently tracking for Tampa area. They have mentioned sometimes Sarasota. They mentioned it could go, yes, it could wobble to the north or south a little bit. But in general, they're still kind of saying it's heading for the Tampa area. I bring that up because in certain material by certain people out there that clicks with me anyway of being genuine, at least her early material, there's somebody called Asha Yanadine. I've mentioned her in earlier videos. But some of her earlier work talks about there being, I think she says 12 primary stargates on this planet. One of them is in Sarasota, and one is in Iraq, and one is in, they happen to be in these areas that there tend to be big wars over them. Well, you can just say, like with Iraq, no, it's not about oil or somebody did this or that. There's apparently a stargate there, and that's worth fighting for. So when you take it up to the galactic level, all our little 3D, earthly concerns down here seem like a joke. No, they're going to wars over far deeper meanings. We could also take it further that perhaps Asheville is not about lithium and minerals they keep talking about and spreading around in all the media. It could be something far deeper. And what I'm going to say is something happening beneath Asheville. And you start to connect the dots and draw conclusions. Am I right? I could be totally wrong. But I just find it very suspect that you've got, the tragedy that happened in Maui, which was also engineered, or weather warfare used via direct energy weapons for the fires. But you've got, quote unquote, the famous celebrities who now are finding out what's going on in that world, all the sinister dark side. And you've got somebody like Oprah who owns property in Maui and who also coincidentally, in quotes, owns property or used to in Asheville. So anyway, I'm not going to go further with that. But yes, certain parallels and connections can be drawn. So I have a feeling, I'm just suspecting, that Helene hitting there and the damage done, artificially so, has probably far deeper reason of why that became a strategic target. Could there be far more than even that? Of course. So time will tell. This is a time of revelations. We will see what more is going to be revealed. All right, I really took a far step away from what I wanted to do. So now let me let go of that energy. I'm going to inhale and blow it out because I don't have my little sound bowl with me right now to chime it out. Hold on. So now I'm going to shift the energy on here because I kind of got a little wound up and wandered over where I didn't want to go with this. So now I want to come back down to a calm. Even in my previous video posted, I wanted to ramp up and amp up the more happy, positive factor and nature of that reading. That was just a collective reading. So that when we entered into this one, we can come from a peaceful place and on a more happier note to see and envision more of a success and have better chances to kind of calm this other storm down out there in the Gulf right now. Okay, so all of that said, I hope you picked a pile as I was going on and on here. And I'll just recap real fast. We've got Mystical Shaman deck, Earth Energies, combined with this Crocodile Jasper. We have Fire Dragon Energies with the Dragon Path Oracle deck. And we have the water represented with this Girasol. I'm sorry, not water, air. I don't know why I said that. Air, it almost looks like a piece of hail. And I might have misspoken and said water earlier, but this is representing air. And this is the Wild Kuan Yin Oracle. And then we have Chrysocolla with the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins deck. All right, so let's get into it. And I don't know if I mentioned it. I'm going to, post the YouTube video of the Pharaoh Rod in the description area below also to look into. Okay, so now let's go with Group 1, representing Earth. Okay, I'm going to go slowly over the card. It's the number 25 or number 7. And actually, look at that. That's a nice, beautiful little happening. You know, the Crocodile Jasper goes well with whatever that orb is at the top. It has the same feel and color scheme. And then we have what could be a sun or it could be a moon, depending on what time of day this depiction is of a mountain. And it says, the Holy Mountain. And actually, I love the way the green up there is picked up, artistically here, on the side of the mountain as well. I am going to go ahead and read this first from the book, just because, as you know, if you've followed this channel at all, when I do these readings, and by the way, yes, I do readings, but I also do capture sky anomalies and record things, in nature. It's kind of all over the place here on this channel, but find what you like. So if you know that, it kind of go around, but I do talk about this. This is one of the decks where I really do like the descriptions, what they say. And I'll say it again, they show you, they break it down into the essence, the invitation, and the medicine being kind of the remedy for the situation. And that's usually if the card is comes out in the reverse or inverted position. This one came out, though, regular. So let me do this. I'm just going to read it. I'm just going to try to hold the camera steady over here. Sorry if it bounces around a bit. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have to move around a little bit more. Bear with me. I think I'll zoom out a little bit more because then I can read this closer to the light. So bear with me. I'm just reading by window light, daylight. Okay, the Holy Mountain, the essence. Native peoples, Native peoples around the earth recognize mountains as places of great power where one encounters spirit or where the gods or goddesses reside. In ancient Greece, Mount Olympus was the home of the 12 main gods and goddesses. In Tibet, pilgrims circumambulate. Oh my gosh, I had it right the first time. Circumambulate Mount Kailash as, sorry, I can barely read this, the light is dim, to bring prosperity. Let me read that again. In Tibet, pilgrims circumambulate Mount Kailash to bring prosperity. In Peru, pilgrims climb the ice-capped Mount Asangate to receive the starlight and bring fire to the earth. The invitation. The Holy Mountain invites you to go on a sacred pilgrimage to acquire vision and perspective. First, you must accept the present situation as an opportunity to discover higher understanding. Find a sacred altar where others who came before you have prayed and found wisdom, and make your offering there. Make a commitment to walk with courage, love, and compassion until you see with clarity the perfection of all. And I would just say, maybe if that's not your thing, what they recommend, because it's not really mine, you can kind of create your own. So your own quote unquote altar. Don't, worry about it. It's not to get too like, spiritual versus religion here on it. Just, it can be easy as, lighting a candle or lighting some incense or whatever you want to do to kind of create a little sacred space of your own. And I would do that. But, some people, if you're in the Catholic religion, that might mean you just go to a church and light a candle type of thing. Or otherwise, just do it on your own at home. Okay. Now, the medicine, if this were in reverse, is when the holy mountain shows up, it is time to be active. Do not let your doubts deter you and keep you bound. This is time to leap over challenges and to remember that from the top of the mountain there are no obstacles, only beauty, and an unobstructed view of the entire earth. And there's no need to go shopping for the right hiking boots or camping equipment to climb the holy mountain. You already have all the gear you need. Overcome any lethargy, indolence, and laziness, as these are the real obstacles. Okay. So anyway, they're calling, for action. And again, action. You don't have to go physically go climb a mountain. You can also go within and in prayer, envision things and pray. And that's an action as well, right? Okay. So I would just say that relative to the storm, this is a clear and obvious, at least to me, depiction of get to higher ground, gain the higher ground so you'll be okay. We saw that with the flooding, unfortunately, horrifically, in North Carolina and Tennessee and all of that. The people that were down in the valley got really hard hit. And if you were higher up, you might have fared off a little bit better. Although you also would have to watch out for mudslides in areas. So all that to say is you've got to trust. Well, do what you like, but I'm just saying this is reminding to trust that golden orb, whether it's the sun or the moon. Just look at that as an eternal light source that is at the heart of you, within your chest. That for me is loosely symbolizing the God spark, the divine spark, of all of life and all there is inside of you in the heart space, in the chest. And that if you have the faith of legions, you know that you're protected no matter what's going on all around you. Meteor comes down, floodwaters come in, mudslide, fire, whatever. Sure, any number of things can always happen. But just know that you have the faith of thousands that you're going to be okay. And that, or you have the faith of one that is just not wavering. You know that wherever you are going to be okay. Or you're going to be given the wherewithal to get out of there or know where to go next if you listen to your intuition. And that applies right now with the hurricane scenario as well. If you're in an area and you feel like, you need to leave, even if it's not close to the shoreline, where you might get storm surge, but something's screaming at you from within to leave, you listen and you leave. Follow it, right? All right. Now we're going to change it up a bit. So this is, if it's just for personally and you're not looking at the storm, it's just a reminder that you have this God-given spark within you. And similarly, even if there's not a natural disaster around you, whatever challenges or obstacles that you are finding in your day-to-day world, maybe you worry about work, or you just got laid off, or any number of things, or don't know where the next income is coming through, just know, have full faith and confidence that wherever you are, God is, and there is nothing that you can't get through, no matter how bad it may look to the physical eyes around you. Also, I'm bringing it up again, I think this will probably come in every single reading. I think it's worth repeating every single time if I have to. But also in those moments that, things might look bad around you in your life, and, ongoing on the daily, just say to yourself, no, I'm not going to let those thoughts overtake of obstacle, of grief, of everything going spiraling downward. No, I'm going to choose for my thoughts and feelings to spiral upward. And I'm going to say it's happening for me, not to me, even if something looks bad. Because in that moment, I have my mind open, my heart open for that change, that situation to change, and for good to come in. I'm inviting and allowing good to come in. And then my outside world will start to reflect that and get better. Okay? All right, let's go on to group 2. Group 2, we got this red jasper little chunk, and we're going to be looking at the dragon path, if I can find it. Hang on, give me a second. Yeah, here we go. The dragon path oracle cards. And this one, we got a beautiful golden dragon here. I mean, he's kind of, well, that's a little borderline. you want to interpret it as scary, but I think he just is pretty fierce looking, but is really like a teddy bear. Okay, inside. So we got this one, and he looks like he's like made of golden flames, right? And he's got a rock behind him, and he's standing on rock to show absolute confidence. So that's a number 6, confidence. And let's see, I'm going to read straight up the message, and then we'll go into any insights that want to come through. And this is just the little companion guidebook. And I'll see if I'm going to read the whole thing. Sorry, I'm going to have to zoom out a little further than I'd like because I got to catch the light right at the window. I kind of missed the boat on group 1 and was reading it too far away. It was too dim. I'm trying to catch the daylight. Okay, this one says, trust yourself, your inner wisdom, and your intuition. Call upon this dragon when your confidence has taken a knock or when you feel you're unable to trust your own judgment. He gives you the hope and courage you need to carry on. He encourages you to dig deep and take the next step. He will be beside you all the way, supporting you as you go. He has beautiful dragon energy, and you can call upon He has beautiful dragon energy you can call upon in times of personal crisis and need. Confidence is an awesome dragon to work with, but be warned, he can also be forthright. He says, you can't sit there wallowing in self-pity. You have a job to do, so get on with it. He continues, you have many talents to draw upon and use. Yes, you have taken a few knocks and bruises along the way, but that is life. Your infinite abilities are yet to be explored and uncovered. Your task now is to trust yourself, your inner wisdom, and your intuition. Follow your feelings and listen to your inner guidance. This might well be scary, and you will be talking yourself out of your comfort zone, but playing safe doesn't aid your personal or spiritual growth. If you have no idea what course of, hang on, I have to flip the page with one hand. If you have no idea what course, sorry, I skipped ahead a page. This is not easy holding it with one hand. Give me a moment, friends. Hang on. This is not making sense. Give me a moment. Oh yeah, here we go. The page got stuck together, got glued. It made no sense. Okay, if you have no idea what action to take, ask for his guidance. But remember, he is not in any way soft or quote-unquote fluffy. He will tell you or show you what you need to know bluntly and put things in your path that you need to understand. Look for the lessons, and from there you will begin to develop exponentially, both spiritually and personally. You will find your way under his compassionate guidance. Part of what confidence teaches us is that we are responsible for our own experiences, however painful or joyous. We need to learn to live, love, forgive, heal, and move on. He is probably one of the toughest dragons I have encountered, yet he is also gentle and caring. Tough love, I think it's called. Although he's straight talking, he does have a huge compassion for us human doings. Bear that in mind if you get a telling off from him, dragon style. Okay, so this is a book according to Caroline Mitchell and her dragons. All right, so for people not to freak out, if this is kind of new to you, concepts of dragons, we're talking about the energies of dragons. Also, there could very well be dragon beings, positive ones. Just because you see a dragon doesn't mean they're negative. There are many positive, benevolent ones. There's also enormous ones, apparently, galactic, huge dragons, and they have more to do with like creation energies and help create things and are of benevolence or neutral kind of aspects. And so you can very well believe in God and Jesus and still believe in dragons as well. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And it's just like calling on a dog or a puppy to stand by you and protect you. You can call on a dragon, right? And I'm saying that because what happens with God? God creates the creator of everything. So why wouldn't God have already created also benevolent or, positive dragons, right? So anyway, if it's easier for you, or not easy, but you have an affinity toward dragons, I don't necessarily, but, I don't have anything for or against them really. You might feel comfortable with that imagery of even having like a beautiful dragon sitting, going before you or walking next to you or sitting on your shoulders as you enter a room and you need a little more confidence. That's kind of the stuff that we're working with, that you can envision them there. Or some people actually want to call actual, dragon spirits in to be helpful, why not? Okay. And it's just, this is all talking about, good energies, nothing coming in, talking about calling anything negative, and by any means, no way. Okay, not on my channel anyway. All right, so now, when we look at confidence, what I just read, this is kind of, they said, representing the kind of tough love aspect of don't wallow in self-pity. You're not a victim. We're not going to tap into victim energies. Look at anybody right now going in the aftermath of the tragedy, tragic storm that happened up in North Carolina, Tennessee, etc. They're not sitting there. There's no time to wallow in pity. You wallow in pity, it's not going to do well to help you survive. So you need to, try to tap into that confidence so that you have the drive to keep going and survive even what seems like the most unsurmountable obstacles. And so it's great if you can step into the confidence to keep that going. Yes, though, people are going to get tired and worn out. Yes, the physical conditions are going to wear people down. But hopefully at least one person in the mix, a neighbor or, somebody with aid relief, still has that drive to keep going and keep morale up. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's somebody else. But be sure to, if you are feeling like you're deflated and wallowing, try to tap in with any last, fumes you might have. Tap into your inner resolve and reignite that light and keep going. And we all are here, or at least I'll speak for myself. I'm here for you strong in the family love kind of way. And I'm sending you so much love to keep going and persevere and keep moving. That's whether it's, regarding a real storm that's already been through or about to come, or whether you're just going through personal challenges in life. Okay? All right, now let's get to group 3. And this is the air, representing the air energy, the Wild Kuan Yin Oracle. Actually, I'm going to show you the cover of the book on this one. This is by Alana Fairchild. And I'm going to show you the guidebook because the actual card we have here is number 8, the Snow Shepherdess. And I'm going to read from the book on that. But I'm just going to show you the depiction here because she's literally like in the wind, so it's very in keeping with the kind of theme, with the wind blowing, and we're looking to bring in positive energies to dissipate the wind with this hurricane, potential hurricane. I think it is technically one by now, but we'll see, or tropical storm. Okay, let me read a little bit from this. So the Snow Shepherdess, number 8. Give me a moment. Let me see if I can still read it in the light. And apologies, I thought I would still have enough light. I didn't even bother turning some other light on. I come to you with news of unexpected life. Something that seemed once impossible without energy or hope of success is coming to life. Not only is this an unexpected happening, but it will be taking place when you think it all least likely. I come with the decree that life shall have its way, no matter what circumstances appear to dictate, and in the midst of great loss, scarcity, or denial of life, a blessing of abundance, fertility, and new beginnings will be given. Guidance in this book. Sorry, I keep missing the card. Bear with me on the camera. Guidance. Out of apparent emptiness, something surprising and beautiful is going to happen. The Snow Shepherdess is an omen of the most unlikely sort of success. She brings with her a blessing of the energy of life in the midst of what may feel more like an ending. It is a triumph that happens unexpectedly after hope was lost. Feeling defeated can be a painful experience for the mind, yet if we are holding on too tightly, we can suffocate instead of animate what we want to flourish in our world. The Snow Shepherdess brings you reassurance that it is okay to let go, to loosen your grip psychologically and emotionally, and even allow for endings to happen. Those endings are only steps toward new beginnings. Remember that nothing is beyond the power of life, not even death, for life emerges in new form again and again. Place your hope in life, and you shall gain blessings of healing and comfort. No matter how final things may seem, love and life will prevail according to a greater wisdom. Okay, let me just see. That's this one. See if there's any more. Yes, there's a few more messages I'm going to keep reading because these are beautiful, powerful messages coming through in this book. Okay, this oracle is a sign from the Divine Mother. She is helping you and guiding you from within now. She has heard your requests for help and she is responding. Tune into your own inner wisdom and trust yourself. This is the way that you can allow her to help you. If you are opening up to healing work, creative expression, or any way of putting your voice out into the world is service to love. The oracle comes to you as a confirmation that you are meant to do this. If you are a channel for spiritual energy or communication, or for divine guidance, or even seeking to walk the path of spiritual guidance for others, the Divine Mother is acknowledging that she will be, and already is, working from within you to support your work and to assist others to heal and grow. If you are doubting your ability to mother and care for yourself or others, remember that you have the love of the Divine Mother within you. Trust your connection to the Mother Wisdom within. I think that's all. Yeah, that's all I'm going to read from that one for now. But how beautiful, right? And I love what they're talking about is to nurture yourself. And this is not if you're male or female. You know, there is that energy of divine nurturer. So Kuan Yin, I think, is also kind of synonymous with Mother Mary. And the thing is that you're just talking about the divine love. So you can also be the parent or the mother nurturing energy of loving that inner child within you. Self-love is so important. And also, of course, just sending out the love for everybody out, you know, in the world, which is what we're doing too if you're watching this right now. Okay, so anyway, whether you're facing a storm or if it's personal again, obstacles and issues, or if you're going through horrific times of anything that you're trying to heal through, you know, this message is for you. And if it's for applied to the storm coming, just remember, look at her. She looks solid. She's got gentle power, but also fierce power if she needs it. She's steadfast and she's always there. And so just know that especially the loving and nurturing spirit of others who care and who love and who care about what happens to people on this planet and want to make sure they're okay and that they're not suffering. They're not, you know, going through anything awful or sad or depressing. Just know I'm like feeling that right now in my heart space and my whole being, sending you so much divine, you know, love, family love, the kind of love where you can trust it, that someone comes and hugs you, is not going to betray you, is just pouring out all of the love that there is in this universe all over you and on you and just giving you that huge bear hug of love, okay? May that be yours if you need it especially. And may it calm you if you're being anxious, getting anxious about the storms, okay? All right, so now we're going to go to group 4, and this is Chrysocolla. I highly recommend you look that up. It's a fascinating crystal. I think it's spelled C-H-R, let's see, Y-S-O-C-O-L-L-A. I think that's how you spell it. Anyway, it's close, Chrysocolla. I don't think it's Chrysocolla. Maybe it's Chrysocolla or Chrysocolla. I can't remember. Can't remember right now. Just look it up. You'll get there. If you just even misspell it slightly, it'll still come up on an internet search. Anyway, it's got some beautiful properties, especially aligned with the heart space. All right, so we're going to go to this magical dolphins, mermaids and dolphins deck. Okay, have faith. We've had this card before, not too long ago. But we've got this mermaid just beautifully springing up out of the water. Looks like a nice day in the background, probably towards sunset with the clouds, the way the color of them are. And it says, your prayers are manifesting. Remain positive and follow your guidance. So another message of having faith, you know, tapping into that core divine of each one of us and truly believing in it and being relying on it to the point that we listen to our intuition and don't second guess it. Let me see if I have this one bookmarked. I think I do. Let me just read from this little book too. And this is probably going to be the shortest of all the piles because it's really self-explanatory. We've kind of already touched on it, but hold on. I'm going to read from the book. Oh, and look at, I like how, you know, her hair's flinging this way and hers is going this way. It's like, you know, they're all connected. Okay. Have faith. Your prayers are manifesting. Remain positive and follow your guidance. Good work. You've been asking and praying for some big dreams to come true, and it's working. Just like a gardener who has planted new seeds, you must have faith that your crops will push above the surface. Keep watering your dreams by taking the steps that make them flourish. This is a precious time for you and your dreams. You don't have to strain or push to make them come true. You've already accomplished a major part of the manifestation by asking and praying. Trust that heaven is helping you. just like a best friend would if you asked for their assistance. Your job is to have faith, listen for divine guidance, and take action whenever you're guided. So that goes back to having faith, listening in, inside, and listening to your intuition and taking whatever action it may tell you to do. Even if that action is seemingly an inaction. Like maybe instead of going somewhere and doing something, your intuition is saying, no, stay put, ground down, and don't do something. So whatever that guidance is, listen to it. Okay, now I did have a bookmark with this one, and I am going to actually show you and read that one too. Because the one about having faith is a little self-explanatory here. You've asked in prayer, you're believing, and then you take any actions. So then we have empowerment, and this is a beautiful card we had recently too, but it's really beautiful. Look at, she's kind of holding up near her heart space, just below, and is glowing, beautiful energy. She has support, below and all around her. You're more powerful than you realize. It's safe for you to be powerful. And I want to kind of focus on this right now because this is going to tie into what I might close with is just a little putting a hand on our heart space and focusing in, if you wish, with me, and just kind of connecting in on an extra prayer for all of those who might be on the path of this storm / potential hurricane. If it isn't already, they're calling it Milton. Okay. Let me read this about empowerment, though. I'm going to repeat it. You're more powerful than you realize. It's safe for you to be powerful. This card confirms that your inner power wants to surface. You'll use this power appropriately, and you're incapable of abusing it. Your true friends and the people who really love you will be happy that you've taken your power back. Empowerment means that you're no longer willing to see yourself as a victim in any way. It means letting go of all blame with respect to other people, past conditions, or present circumstances. Know that you can be powerful and gentle simultaneously and still be very effective. Affirm frequently, it's safe for me to be powerful. I accept my God-given power to be used in the service of light and love. Then enjoy the shifts you'll see around you. Instead of worrying what others think about you, use your power to make the world a better place. You may never feel self-conscious again. And that's so important. Use your power to make this world a better place. So on that beautiful note, we will, if you want to join me. If not, you can click off, it's fine. So for right now, I just want to, I think I'll do this. Let me spin this lantern around so I don't burn myself. Let's see. I'm going to open it up so we can take a look at the flame maybe. I like to look at the active flame because it's like beautiful God-given, not God-given, but beautiful spirit of the divine is with us, flickering in there. Nice, good, positive energy. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so for right now, if you want to do it with me, I'm just going to make it a brief. I'm not going to belabor it, but just going to connect in, take a deep breath in through the nose. For me, it works well. Do as you wish. But I like to take just one big inhale through the nose. And I kind of hold it a bit, and I imagine all of that beautiful oxygen going to each and every cell in the abdomen, lower abdomen. Breathing in deeply so that all the cells in the body can really receive that good oxygen, because a lot of times we get anxious or we get a little, going about the day-to-day and shallow breathe, do what's shallow breathing just in the chest, and it never makes it down all the way through into the stomach and abdomen, where a lot of the worry can sit and get tight. So just breathe in. Imagine all the cells down there just screaming for joy that they're getting all the fresh oxygen and they're happy. And then you can blow it out however you wish. I choose to do it through the mouth. And then just kind of let any worries fade and go out of your physical person, out of your physical body. And so all I'm going to do is connect in and just give thanks for the here and now. And give thanks that everybody is loved, blessed, and protected. And we know they are because we're each given an intuition. And God, may you hear everyone's prayers and answer them via their intuition and real signs that they cannot miss around them. And may they have the strength and courage and wherewithal to follow them, their intuition and their if they see and connect in with signs around them. May this storm dissipate, fade to its native nothingness. Let the winds shear it apart, so that should it reach land, it's not a threat to anyone. Let everything be harmonious, happy, and healthy for all. Give us each individual strength at whatever levels we need it to help ourselves and to help others. And we wish well for everyone. Thank you. Blessings to all. All right, now I said that's storm focused, but that also goes for each and every one of you connecting in on this. Whatever personal blessings you may need. I know a lot of us in this world really always pray for abundance of the financial kind, because that's what this whole world has been commandeered to focus on that. But let us tap into our strength and our confidence and our faith that we already have it, and it's not a big deal to bring that into our life, and that the door is open for it so that we can have it. And let us trust that no matter what, God's got our back, our front, our sides, above, below, all over us, and that we will never be truly without, that we will always be loved, blessed, and protected. And that God and unseen forces are taking care of the basics for us, so that we can continue and thrive and continue to do beautiful things for others and for ourselves in this world, and making it a better place. All right, everyone, that's it for now. I wish you a beautiful right now. And as always, tremendous peace and love, and extra strength, love, and helping hands however you need them through this storm if it's coming your way. Bye for now. Lavender Sky Panther.